Little Miss Sunshine by Roger Hargreaves. Welcome to Miseryland. We say welcome, but there really isn't much to welcome you about it. It's the most miserable place in the world. Miseryland worms look like this. And when the birds wake up in the morning in Miseryland, they don't start singing. They start crying. Oh, it really is an awful place. And the king of Miseryland is even worse. He sits on his throne all day long with tears streaming down his face. Oh, I am so unhappy, he starts sobbing over and over and over again. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Little Miss Sunshine had been on holiday. She had a lovely time, and as she was driving home, she was whistling happy to herself as she drove along. Out of the corner, she saw a sign, to Miseryland. Miseryland? She thought to herself, I've never heard of that before, and she turned off down the road. She came to a sign that says, you are now entering Miseryland, and underneath it says, smiling, laughing, chuckling, giggling, forbidden by order of the king. Oh dear, thought little Miss Sunshine as she drove along. She came to a castle with a huge door. A soldier stopped her. What do you want? He asked gloomily. I want to see the king, smiled little Miss Sunshine. You're under arrest, said the soldier. But why? Asked little Miss Sunshine. For a most serious crime, replied the soldier. Most serious indeed. The soldier marched little Miss Sunshine through the huge door, and across the courtyard, and through another door, and up and over a staircase, and along a long corridor, and through a long, huge door, and into a gigantic room. And under his sat room, in the gigantic room, he saw the king, crying his eyes out. Your Majesty, said the soldier, bowing low, I have arrested this person for a much serious crime. The king stopped crying. She smiled at me, said the soldier. There was a shocked silence. She did what? Cried the king. She smiled at me, repeated the soldier. But why is smiling not allowed? Laughed little Miss Sunshine. She laughed at me, cried the king. Why not? She chuckled. She chuckled, cried the king. Little Miss Sunshine giggled. She giggled, went on the king, and he burst into tears again. But why are these things not allowed? Asked little Miss Sunshine. Because this is Miseryland, wept the king, and they've never been allowed, he sobbed. Oh, I am so unhappy before you arrived, he wailed, but now I'm twice as unhappy. Little Miss Sunshine looked at him. But wouldn't you like to be happy? She asked. Of course I would, cried the king. But how can I be? This is Miseryland. Little Miss Sunshine thought. Come on, she said. You can't talk to me like that, she sobbed. The king sobbed. Don't be silly, she replied, and led him across the gigantic room and through the huge door and along the long corridor and down the enormous staircase into the huge door and across the courtyard and then right there to her car. Get in, she said. Little Miss Sunshine drove the crying king to the large notice. Dry your eyes, she said, and handed a large handkerchief from her handbag. And then from her handbag, she produced a large pen. 5 minutes later, she finished. Instead of saying, you are now entering Miseryland, smiling, laughing, chuckling, giggling, forbidden by order of the king. But do you know what it says now? You are now entering Laughterland, smiling, laughing, chuckling, giggling for permitted by order of the king. There, said little Miss Sunshine. Now you can be happy. But I do not know how to be happy, sniffed the king. I've never tried it. Nonsense, said little Miss Sunshine. It's really easy, she said. The king tried to smile. Not bad, she laughed. The king tried to laugh. Getting better, she chuckled. The king tried to chuckle. You got it, she giggled. The king looked at her. So I have, he giggled. I am the king of Laughterland. As little Miss Sunshine arrived home, there was Mr. Happy out for an evening stroll. Hello, he grinned. Where have you been? Miseryland, she replied. Miseryland? He said. I didn't know there was such a place. Little Miss Sunshine giggled. Actually, she said, there isn't. God. You can't have a smiling king and there he gets Miseryland's not bad. No boy, that's better food. This cat. Why would the king be happy while Miss Sunshine tried to cheer her up? Well, I also promised she's Mr. Happy's best friend. And technically, they're one of the two happiest people in Dillydale. And actually, I think I almost finished the Loud House 2009 collection. Technically, it's not bad. Well, do you know what it is? I think it's some egads. I like a piece of... Oh, you're supposed to that supposed. You're fucking some meat. I said a ridiculous word. Am I the cutest? Technicals. You fuck.